Well, y'all, this is my New Jersey buck. This is my first deer I ever killed in the state of New Jersey, and I just finished the skull mount on it. Came out pretty good. I also finished the skull mount of my buddy Spencer's deer as well. Both videos of those deer are up on the channel. Go check them out. Episodes 5 and 6. This one's episode 6. Spencer's is episode 5. Both really good hunts, both bow kills in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. But anyways, this is my first New Jersey deer. I had hunted hard in New Jersey last year, and it just didn't work out. I didn't get a lot of permission properties, and I didn't hunt too hard during the rut. So this year I decided I really wanted to get after it and get a New Jersey deer. And yeah, I got some permission and got in there at the right time. I think this was a October 27th kill, and it just worked out. So go check out that video if you haven't. Yeah, so continuing on with the story of this season, it all kind of builds up to this video here and the moments that are shown in it. I decided early in the season that I'd wanted to shoot a bigger buck, a more mature buck, because I just had never done that before. I'd never, passed on those 2-year-olds, and never waited out for a bigger deer. So building up to this video, all these episodes that are before it, if you've been following along, they're all kind of leading up to this video. So go check out those other videos if you haven't. Been on some pretty good deer, passed on some good deer, got some good footage. Anyways, back to the main story here. I guess I start this video November 2nd. Hopefully you guys were able to see that. Just had a pretty big 8-pointer stand up at like 40 yards. I got the full draw, and there was no good opportunities out of it all, but I don't know if I'd even say it was really what I'm looking for either. So we'll see. Hopefully I see a bigger one.
I'm back in the tree. Different spot. Same area. Looking for that big 10 pointer with the split G2s. That thing was huge. Oh my god. I don't think I've ever seen a buck from the tree that big. I don't know what to do about that, but I hope that he comes back through here today. But if he doesn't, I guess I'll be back in here tomorrow. But we'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys in the loop. guys, that's gonna do it for Monday. What is it? November 4th, day before Election Day. So that's gonna do it for today. Had that giant 10-pointer. That was freaking awesome, but it's all embedded there for hours. Anyways, that doe popped up and they headed the opposite direction of where I am, and they ended up never coming back. But that's hunting, so give it my best today. Gonna get back at it tomorrow. Not sure where I'm gonna go. I might come back here. I might go somewhere else. I might do a morning hunt here and an afternoon hunt somewhere else because the morning here was pretty good. So that's probably what I'm thinking right now. It's 7:30 and I haven't seen any deer yet. Pretty nice setup. I guess you're pretty good back behind me here as well. Sure. So far. Stop. Meh. Meh. Oh my god, I think I got him. He's down at 40 yards. I'm sorry. I shot him at 40 yards and he's down up the hill. Can't believe that. Oh my god. It's the biggest buck I've ever seen. I don't know if I got it on video, but I don't really care. I don't think I got it on video at all. But I think I got him on video walking up. Oh. Wow, that's crazy. I can't wait any longer. I'm getting down to go look at him.
Well guys, I found him, 40-yard poke, got him pretty good. I don't think I got that on video, but I don't care, because look at the size of this deer. The thing is huge. Really nice 9-pointer. I was actually here hunting after a deer that looked a lot like this, had this on both sides. And I saw this guy cruising around, and I thought it was the same deer because I saw this side, and I just ignored the fact that this side was just a regular tine. He ran up the hill here and just passed away, but this is the biggest deer I've ever shot, so I'm super grateful. All right, well, here he is. This is the PA buck. Beautiful deer, super nice, really thick antlers. I kind of wanted to, talk a little more about the hunt and about the deer, because I feel like I was just really caught up in the moment after I got down and got my hands on this deer. I just kind of wanted to soak it all in, and that's what I did. So yeah, this deer was just cruising. I was, as you guys saw, hunting that spot in hopes of seeing that 10-pointer with the double split G2s, and he didn't show up. I didn't see any deer until I think it was like 8:30 or something like that, and I looked up the hill and I saw this guy literally just cruising, nose to the ground, searching for does. Turned out that he was headed kind of my way, headed down a funnel that I was hunting. I could tell that he was, going to be on the opposite side of where I was, and I knew that if I was going to take a chance at him, it was going to be far. And I kind of decided when he was at like 60 or 65 yards that if he came down at that 50-yard mark, I was going to send an arrow at him, and that's exactly what I did. I honestly regret shooting at him at 50 yards. That was not something I would normally do. I've never shot at a deer that far other than this one, and I just kind of was under the impression that I would never see this deer again, or even like a deer like this, because it's just a huge deer for me. I don't ever really see them this big in Pennsylvania. In the area that I hunt, I just don't really run into them. So he came down walking broadside at about 50 yards. I knew I had a good window, so I drew back. He was headed towards it, and I stopped him right in that window, settled the pin, and I let the arrow fly. And I thought that I watched the arrow disappear in the crease behind the shoulder, but clearly that's not what happened. I think after watching the video back, it looked like it was a little low, and I just missed him. I just clean missed him. But in the moment, I thought I got him, and he ran down the hill a little bit, stopped, and I kept waiting to see a sign that I'd hit him, and there was no sign. I did not hit him. He even hit like a scrape, and he was rubbing his antlers in some of that bamboo. I think he hit a scrape right there in that little ravine, and he disappeared up into the bamboo. And I was like, all right, well, if he was hitting a scrape, maybe I can grunt him back in. Obviously, at that point, I was like just confused because I thought I'd got him. Hit the grunt tube a few times. I did a couple tending grunts. Yeah, I just kind of sat there and looked through the GoPro footage to see if I could see if I hit him or not. And I wasn't able to see. I wasn't able to tell what happened on the GoPro video. And as I was looking through the footage on the GoPro, the deer pops back out and is headed back up towards me at like 70 yards, and I was like, oh my god, he's coming back. So I dropped the GoPro. I didn't even put it back on my shoulder, so that's why you guys didn't see the GoPro footage of me shooting him the second time. And he was walking at, I guess, just 15, maybe a little less, like 10 or 15 yards inside of where he had first walked. I knew where 40 yards was because I had ranged that earlier in the hunt, and I think my rangefinder died, or it honestly just wasn't working. I couldn't get it to work before he was coming in, so I completely abandoned that. That might have helped me with that first longer shot if I would have had that working. But I knew exactly where 40 yards was, and he was right about on it, walking perfectly parallel to the same path he took before. I drew back on him. As you guys saw in the video, he was walking up the hill towards where he came from. I thought he was going to turn in. Like, it looked like he was going to turn in and give me like maybe a 30-yard shot or a 20-yard shot come right in front of me, but he got to a certain spot and it looked like he was going to go back up the hill, and I was like, I can't let him get away from me. And I felt pretty confident at 40 yards. So, I was already at full draw. He was at right about 40, like I think he was dead on 40 yards. Same thing. I settled the pin, squeezed it off, let the arrow go, and it went right where I was aiming. I think it actually might have went a little low, so maybe it was a poke over 40, or I just hit a little low, and the deer dropped and his body kind of turned into it a little bit. The exit was higher than the entry. Ended up being really good shot. Got the top of the heart, some good amount of lungs as well. The deer ran up the hill, stopped at about, 70 yards from where I was, probably only 40 or 50 yards from where I shot him at. He just kind of fell over backwards, and that was it. And in that moment, I was just like in shock, kind of. I was like, oh my gosh, that actually just happened. He actually just came back, and I got the deer. And honestly, at that point, I still thought that it was the same deer I'd seen the day before. I thought it was the deer with the double split G2s. I couldn't wait very long. I got down pretty much immediately, and I ran up to the deer and I was like, oh my God, this is insane. It's a really nice buck. You know, I just kind of soaked it in. I called some buddies, called my dad. My dad came, and you know, we kind of enjoyed the moment together, soaked it in, and you know, got him back to the house, caped him out, and that's pretty much the story of this deer. You know, it was a long season of me searching for a mature deer, and you know, it all kind of came together. I definitely don't recommend shooting at a deer over 50 yards. Even 40 yards is kind of a stretch for me personally. I honestly usually don't shoot deer that far. It's not something I'm used to doing, but I know it did work out in the end. I'm not going to shoot at a deer at 50 yards again for hopefully a long time. I'm super grateful to have had the opportunity to harvest this deer, and you know, it's just a great moment to be able to share with everyone, and I hope you guys enjoyed the story. But yeah, I got him caped out, took him to Stranix Taxidermy. He let me have the antlers back while he's working on the rest of the hide and everything. But great deer. That's where we take all our deer. Stranix Taxidermy. It's Eastern Pennsylvania. If you're in the area, it's a good place to take your deer. So yeah, another thing too is like, look at this deer. Look at the bases on this deer. They're absolutely insane. Got these kickers. I mean, these are almost points. These guys here, they're almost like an inch long, which is really cool. Really awesome deer. The bases are crazy. Brow tines are crazy. Just a crazy deer. Just crazy big. For a comparison, you can kind of see the difference in the mass, especially on the bases of these deer. You know, this, whatever, 1.5 or 2.5 year old, and this, at least 3, probably 4, maybe older. I have no idea. I'm not a biologist. And I, from what I understand, aging deer can be very difficult, but definitely an older, more mature deer than this one. Just, a much bigger buck. Just an awesome deer. Both awesome deer in their own right. I'm still super grateful to have harvested this buck. It's awesome. I mean, first year in New Jersey, awesome experience. I'd never shot one in Jersey before, so go check that video out if you haven't. It's a good video. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't, and be sure to check out the other videos. I've got a lot of good stuff. I got a lot of good stuff coming still. Been hunting with my dad. I'm sure he's gonna put one on the ground soon. My neighbor Joey, I've been hunting with him as well too. So I've got some good videos coming down the pipe. So see you guys on the next one.